Simon & Schuster Audio presents In Place of Death by Craig Robertson. Read by Tim Gerard Reynolds.
This city is what it is, because our citizens are what they are. Plato. Chapter 1. 23rd of October, Glasgow, Friday night. Remy Feeks always felt his heart beat a wee bit faster when he took that first step. It didn't matter whether it was up a ladder, through a fence, or into a tunnel, like now. The first step was the no-going-back step. It was the one that meant it had begun. It didn't mean he was scared. He was, but it wasn't that. Not just that. A little bit of fear was natural anyway, sensible too. Going into the unknown was supposed to be frightening, and thrilling, exhilarating, liberating, all those things and more. It was why he did what he did. He shuffled down the bank until he stood in the water, feeling the pinch of cold, even through the toes of his waders. Standing still for a few moments, he enjoyed the anticipation and tried to get his head round it. He was going to walk back in time. Nearly 150 years. Deep into the heart of old Glasgow. It was a walk that only maybe a handful of people had ever done. And the good bit, the great bit, was that he couldn't be sure where he'd end up, or even if he'd come out at the other end. Deep breath, first step, heart-thumping, go. He stepped into the tunnel, the Mollendiner burn at his feet, and Victorian Glasgow somewhere in front of him. Man, this was going to be awesome. With just one step, the city was above his head, out of sight, and almost out of mind. Or maybe he was out of his. He laughed, knowing full well how crazy some people would think he was. The chances were they were right, but being their kind of sane was a hell of a boring life. Remy worked in a supermarket. A bloody supermarket. 4 good hires had qualified him to round up trolleys that lazy sods couldn't be bothered putting back in the right place. Hefting a couple of them back to the front of the store 1,000 times a day was like putting your soul in a car crusher. He knew all about living life the boring way. No reason for him to spend his free time living like that, too. The stream...
Sample complete. Ready to continue?